Welcome to a brand new season of the TAUK Peer-to-Peer podcast. And this season, we've changed things up a little. I'm here as your new host. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Steph, one of the co-founders of TAUK, long-time industry lover, estate agent of many years, and truth teller. And hopefully we'll really dig under the skin of what makes personal estate agency so great. This season is called Freedom with Foundations. You're going to hear me mention hyperlocal even more than I normally do. We're going to talk about the duality of brand. But most importantly, we're going to hear from estate agents, probably just like you guys who are listening and watching, but who are maybe a couple of steps ahead. So if you are considering going down the personal estate agency route, this is going to be gold dust. Take this like a voice note from somebody several steps ahead. If you're 3 months in or 3 years in and just need a little bit of inspiration, take each and every one of these episodes as the opportunity to restart, reset, and go again. But I'm your new captain. Hopefully we'll hear a load of honesty, some humour, the occasional swear words, and hopefully this season is going to be bigger, funnier, sassier and sharper than ever before, because personal estate agency deserves a personal voice. Welcome to season 3. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the TAUK Peer-to-Peer podcast. Today, we're talking about shedding the high street, dropping the dead weight of overheads and office politics, and stepping into a business that actually feels like yours. I've got 2 agents with me who've been through the whole journey, the good, the bad, and the what the hell am I doing phase. From Poynton, a man who knows every street, shortcut, dog and grumpy neighbour, Dan Brownhill.
Hello.
And from Macclesfield, 19 years in the game, a woman whose emotional intelligence could calm a tornado. Ciara Dodd. Welcome to both of you.
Hello.
I've just hyped you up, so you best not flipping disappoint me or I'm editing you out.
No pressure.
But let's start with some honesty, no fluff. What finally made you look at the traditional model and go, nope, I'm out?
I've been thinking about it. I mean, I've been with Talk since July 2023.
How have we put up with you for that long?
I don't know. Long time. And I've been thinking about it for a couple of years. And the company that I was with, I absolutely loved it. Small independent up in Cheshire. They then decided to sell the business. That gave me the push I needed to sort of change my life.
Yeah.
I'd always had a real burning desire to do it myself. Got the experience, got the skills, got the passion. And I thought I'd give this new company that bought the old company out, I'd give them 12 months. And the day that changed my life, 12th of January 2023, your podcast with Simon Gates. And I just thought, this is special. I need to speak to you. And we had a conversation in, I think it was the Easter of that year. And that was it. I was sick of the KPIs, the rat run, the commutes.
Yeah.
Can I swear? All that bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it just wasn't for me. And I thought, if I don't do it now,
yeah,
I'm never going to do it. And
here we are.
Here we are.
Ciara, did you feel the freedom straight away or did you absolutely shit yourself?
Yeah, no, I shit myself. I think I still am in that state of panic every single day, but it becomes more thrilling as it goes on. I didn't have a natural lead in. I made a decision quite quickly to do it. And I think I was probably 3 or 4 weeks in before I was like, this is me enjoying my job again.
What did your family say? Were they supportive or did they panic on your behalf?
I think I expected, definitely my mum, I expected to challenge me on it because my mum is a real safe space and a logical thinker. And when I had a conversation with her about it, her immediate reaction was, you need to do that and you need to do it now. And I think once I got that from my mum, I was like, I'm going to show everybody that I can do it.
We talk a lot at TAUK about that duality of brand. You guys, the hyper-local personal brand, backed by us, the professional engine. How did sort of stepping away from that kind of corporate logo force you to find your voice again, Dan?
I think through blood, sweat and tears, passion. I'd looked at other models, and obviously after speaking to yourself, I just thought that your passion and enthusiasm about what you wanted to build was part of it. The other models didn't excite me enough.
Yeah.
And I just thought the branding that we had, or you had, or built was perfect for what I wanted.
What do you think changed first, your marketing or your mindset?
I think it's quite difficult to change your mindset because when you come from the high street, the hustle and bustle and the banter of the office, you're then going sat at home in your office and your phone's not ringing, and it's like, so your mindset had to shift quite quickly to go, well, I've got to go out and I've got to be hungry and got to find the business.
Yeah.
But then I think very quickly, you have to have exceptional marketing. You have to be able to, you have to be that purple cow, as they call it, and just stand out from the competition, because all the high street agents, they do the same thing.
Yeah.
So we have to stand out and we have to be special. So people go, who's this guy? Or, you know, what's Ciara doing? What are they doing? And so you have to, the marketing has to be world class, in my opinion.
And you said they're sort of everybody on the high street sort of doing the same thing. And actually, when I speak to agents considering going down this path, a lot of what they say is they've almost forgotten who they were as an estate agent.
Yeah. I think that's really easy to do as well, because you're so driven by spreadsheets and you're so driven by KPIs, and you're sort of taken away from the job that we're all built for and we all love. And I think stepping into this allows you to go, what do I love about it? And what do I want me to look like in that job?
Yeah. Both of you have proven something that others don't necessarily get straight away. I'm going to say my favourite word now, but hyper-local beats hard graft.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about why focusing in on a small area is more profitable. It works better than kind of trying to conquer the whole world.
I think when you join, you think you're going to take on the world and you'll take a listing anywhere within, well, a couple of hours drive. You think, oh, it's great. But I think being hyper local now, it's. I think you have to be that hyper local agent, because more and more people, you'll get sort of recommendations and referrals, and who wants to drive half an hour, 40 minutes, an hour to a viewing, a listing, an appointment? I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I think we need to be well known in that town to be that hyper local. You want to be that go-to estate agent.
Yeah.
It's the web that it creates, isn't it? It's like a ripple effect. As soon as somebody knows about you or has seen what you're doing online, and it's who they then go and talk to about it. And then where you're seen when you're out, and all of those sort of reminders of what brand you're representing. Every time somebody sees a board, every time somebody sees something going into a local group, it's all of those impressions that you're getting on people. Yeah.
We were talking about it on the way up here about hyperlocal. Ciara had mentioned that, who was it? One of your sellers was having a nails done. In a hyper-local place, and they were talking about Ciara and what a great job she did. They wouldn't do that an hour away. And my mother-in-law was on doing chair yoga a couple of weeks ago. Recommended myself. They had another local agent round who they were 5 minutes late, the homeowner coming home, and the agent stood on the drive and said, "Where have you been? You're 5 minutes late. I've got another appointment to go to." And then the following week, that fed back to my mother-in-law at local chair yoga in Poynton. And I think if we weren't that sort of hyper-local, we wouldn't have those recommendations. So from people just talking locally in our areas, hopefully it'll bring a bit more business.
Yeah. I think some people get in the mindset that niching is actually limiting, but I think it's freeing. I want to walk to my listings. I mean, I don't. Well, we all live in the Northwest. It's always goddamn raining. But I want to be known as that local agent. I want people to seek me out because they want to know what's going on in the autumn property market. And it's fun business.
Yeah. I always remember you talking about being in the wine bar that was local to you. And I was like, I want it to be like that. I want to walk into a coffee shop and people know who I am. Not in like a local notoriety, like in a like really arrogant way, but like what great business is that if people are talking to you about houses that they've been to see with other people and stuff like that, just being knowledgeable about your area. It's cool.
One of my favourite lines, you're going to like this one. Professional marketing isn't the cherry on top. It's the dough of the cake.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you guys are brilliant examples of doing it properly. Thinking back though, somebody watching this episode may still be in their conventional sort of walk of life. What weren't you allowed in your old job? What weren't you allowed to do in your old job that you can now do brilliantly? Everything.
I was going to say.
So where do we
Yeah,
start?
where do you start? There's so much you can do. Obviously, on the high street, you are, I think, restricted to what the company lets you, what you can and what you can't do. Being personal estate agents, we can do what we want, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, but we can express ourselves. We can have a bit of fun. I'm following Santa around Poynton for the 3rd year, jumping up and down everywhere. But my daughter comes out and films me, so I get to spend that bit more time with Maisie, and we have a laugh. We had a right laugh yesterday because then it'll go in a blooper reel. So it's just frees you up to just express yourself and do what you want.
Yeah, and I
Show
also
your
think the
personality.
relationships are so different, right? Like everybody feels like they become your friends, but if you take that back to marketing in itself, like the majority of us love houses.
Yeah.
Like we love houses, we love interiors, and then you're going out with an iPhone to do photos on the high street. Like that's appalling.
Yeah.
And actually the excitement around, I can spend hours, rightly or wrongly, planning a marketing shoot and what shots I want and how I want it to look and what I want it to feel
It's
like.
the music for me. I go through
Love
tune
it.
after
My
tune after
Spotify
tune.
Wrapped this year is so poor on the basis of that. I have not reposted that.
Oh,
But
mine said I've got the average listening age of a 63-year-old.
I saw that. Mine was
Really?
27, so I'll take that.
Yeah.
But I think all of those things, and like you just get excited about your job again when you're doing it.
100%.
I feel like this is just the best, most fun way to do estate agency.
Yeah,
I agree.
It just
Yeah.
doesn't
I
compare.
agree. I don't think in all of the years that I've done it, I've ever buzzed about my job as much as I do. And it's all I talk about. It's all I do.
Yeah.
But like it's thrilling. It doesn't feel like work at the same time.
So let's take a little reality check.
Yeah.
Because it's not all champagne and rainbows.
Jesus, no.
What's been the hardest adjustment going from the high street to becoming a personal estate agent? Loneliness? Self-motivation?
No.
No.
I think it's the loneliness. Obviously, I said before, you miss that office environment, that office banter and things like that. But it is, it's bloody hard financially. You leave the high street, you miss the basic, you miss the company car, the pension, all the things that come with it. But yeah, I don't miss that much. But yeah, I think it is for me, it's sort of being on your own. But now the Northwest team's grown beautifully.
Yeah.
We've got people that we can lean on and talk
I think
to
I
and-
had that benefit because you've been here so much longer.
Yeah.
I've joined this year. I already had that network of
Yeah.
people around me. If I ever had a tough day, there was somebody to call. If I ever needed to go for a coffee, there was somebody to go for a coffee with, and they would spur you on. So I've never felt lonely. And as somebody that loved having a team, I've never ever felt lonely. I think mine has been balancing self-motivation with panic. So I think that uncertainty every day when you wake up, especially in the beginning when you've not got loads to do, that uncertainty spurring you on rather than making you do nothing about it and just procrastinate. I think that sort of 3-4 months in bit for me was the hardest bit to go. I still need to get up and prospect. Yeah, I've got a few instructions around it. I need to go and prospect. I need to do more. That was the hardest bit for me.
What did you get wrong at first?
I think that's really difficult because I'm the sort of person that will always go, well, I could have always done more. So I go, well, should I have done more in those first days? Should I have gone harder in those first days? I think maybe I didn't localize my marketplace as to who I went after. I just went after a blanket approach. Going into year 2, I know who I want to go after and what price brackets and stuff like that. But I think I'll always be the person that just went, I should have just done more of everything that I did. And then I would have had even more to go at now.
You said just before we started talking that you got to the point where you were thinking about taking a part-time job.
Yeah.
You didn't.
No.
And you were in the business at the very early form of advanced commission. It's slightly different now. But what did you get wrong at first? And would you take that part-time job going back again or stay strong?
I didn't have a plan B. I don't think you can go into this. You've got to have that little bit of what in the back of your mind. What if it goes wrong? What if it doesn't work out? And I think you have to wake up every day with a little bit of like, shit, what happens if it goes wrong? So otherwise, if you just get up and there's no motivation there, I mean, my family and my engine, that's what drives me to succeed and do as much as I possibly can. I probably should have knocked on more doors. I live on a housing estate of about 300 homes. I should have knocked on every single one of them to go, my name's Dan Brownhill, I've just set up my own personal estate agency. If you're thinking of moving, let me know. So I probably should have done more of that. Sorry, what was the question?
That's classic Dan.
Sorry. It's my ADHD, sorry.
I just said, what did you get wrong at first?
Probably a little bit like that. Probably just should have spread the word a bit more.
Yeah.
And say, this is me, this is what I'm doing.
Do you think there's an element that people kind of don't go all in on that because of fear of failure? Because it's easier once you've got 5 listings to go out and tell everybody that you're a personal agent
Correct.
than before you've got any.
It is getting that first listing. I mean, I was lucky enough to launch the fabulous Cherry Burn with my listing because I knew Dave, but that took me nearly 2 years to actually sell the bloody thing.
Good commission check.
Great, best commission check ever so far. But again, that was a lot of blood, sweat and tears, but it was a great business to launch my home with a £2.5 million listing. But my God, it wasn't a 3-bed semi.
Is there something to be said then, because people generally don't tend to wake up one morning and go, oh, flipping heck, I'll go self-employed tomorrow. Imagine coming to onboarding with a listing.
Oh, no. There were people that did that on my onboarding and I was like, you've nailed it. Like, you've got something to go at straight. Not nailed it, but like you've got something to go at that can put you out there. Yeah. Whereas I'd never worked where I launched. So I had nothing. I knew nobody. And so that fear got me every single day. Yeah. And there's everybody from the sidelines. Everybody you've ever worked with wants you to fail, don't they? Because they don't want it to work. Yeah. They want like the reassurance that the high street is the place to be.
Yeah. If you're a high street agent, you don't wake up on a Monday going, right, I'm leaving. I'm going to be a personal estate agent, self-employed estate agent. They must be thinking about it months before. So I think, again, I probably could have gone, I know what I'm going to do. When we sort of spoke in the April, I've been thinking way before that, obviously, when I heard you on the podcast. When I'd made that decision, I probably should have started going, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, ran Dave from Cherry Burn, rather than I've left the high street. I should have teed him up probably 2-3 months before that and probably should have knocked those doors on my estate that were on the market to go in 3 to 4 months' time. If you haven't sold, I'm setting up my own estate agency. So,
although 2 things I want to pick up there. One, I don't think you need 3 to 4 months to prep. So if you have just had enough, couple of weeks.
That was me.
Couple of days a door knock. But just do something.
But that's what I mean. I literally handed my notes in. 2 months later, I was on onboarding. And it's like, oh! But maybe before that, I probably should have, maybe the weeks that, during my notice period, I probably should have just started dipping my toe into the water.
I also think when you're starting to think about it, temperature check with your friend base.
Correct.
Like when you're in the coffee shop, start introducing yourself, because they're all the things that you're going to have to do when you start anyway. Yeah. So if you can then get your friends to go and tell people, my friend's starting to think about setting up her own business, you just get that like localized
100%.
And that support from people who want you to succeed before you start.
Yeah.
So if we could go back in time to 2023 you or 2024 you or January you, what would you warn yourself about?
I would warn myself about it's not an easy ride. Be prepared for the shit will hit the fan. Be prepared for
tears, tantrums.
Oh, honestly, it's been blood, sweat and tears. It still is now. It is a roller coaster of emotions every day, but we love it. But I would say to my old self, knuckle down. Yeah. It's going to be hard graft. It really is.
Would you tell yourself to do it sooner?
Oh, yeah. And I think you listen to loads of stuff like this and you read loads of stuff and everybody says, I wish I'd done it sooner. But I literally couldn't wish that I'd done it earlier more than that.
Yeah.
Was there maybe a fear in your head that didn't come true? Something you kind of tricked yourself into believing that didn't happen?
I think it all falling apart. I think but I think I would still have to have that conversation with myself now. I think sometimes I just think that it's all going to turn off overnight. And actually you're putting in the graft to make sure that it doesn't. But
I think that's what drives us. I said before, that's what drives us to succeed.
It is. Yeah.
And to be even better than we were yesterday or the last week. Yeah. Just got to keep going.
So as we draw this episode to a close, whether somebody's 1 month in, 1 year in, What's one thing an agent could do today to go out and win more business?
Knock a door.
Thank God.
Yeah.
It's always got to be knock a door. If you ever need an instruction, you just go and knock a door. If you're ever worried that you haven't done enough, go and knock a door, because just having some communication with somebody that is selling a house will spur you on to do more. I don't think you'll ever walk away from a door and regret knocking on it.
We should all do it, more of it.
Yeah.
Door knocking. It's
Even
that-
when you're in an established business, right?
Yeah, again, we were talking about it at the Talk Ball last week. A number of us that we're all going to, we should do more door knocking.
Yeah.
And we should do. We've come off everyone over the last couple of months. Oh, we're going to hold off about the budget. And now we're into Christmas and it still hasn't got any, there's that low hanging fruit. It's really getting quite rotten now and it's there to just grasp. And it's just knock a door, Merry Christmas, Christmas card.
Yeah.
We're talking about chocolate oranges. Chocolate orange, Merry Christmas. So
It's the chocolate orange on your tea bag.
yeah, I think somebody else Tesco's and raid the shelves. Knock doors, comp slips, but you've got to do it consistently. You can't just go, well, I've done 20. What do they say? To be consistently exceptional, you have to be exceptionally consistent.
There you go.
Which you do.
Dan,
I like that.
Ciara, you've been absolute gold today. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
And if you're sat on the high street clinging to it like an emotional support blanket, maybe, just maybe, this has been the push or the quiet slap you needed. So, this is TA UK. This is freedom with foundations. This is the home of personal estate agency. And we'll see you next time.